All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy new day. Good day to be alive. Hope you have a nice every day. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, however, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. No, Fred, I did not write that song. But I do want to show you something. I took the kids to a farm for pumpkin picking. Where's my gallery? And there's a bag of horse feed in the barn. You got to check this out. Look at the name of this horse feed. Let's see if I can get in there. Yeah, Profit Reaper. Yeah. So now it's my tattoo. You want to see my tattoo? Oh, look at that, my tattoo. Oh yeah. Is that amazing? Profit Reaper. I reap the profit. Yeah. So anyways, hey, oh, hi. No. Hi. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Really nice to meet you. Been doing this a long time, and I'm here to help. That means I can share knowledge and experience, but you need to ask questions and be involved. Do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. Where? Forex.Today. Oh, cool. So I'd like to thank you for your participation. I'd like to thank you for posting your trade plans, and hopefully you're receiving feedback from others. And where did the desktop go? Desktop is gone. So apparently, no, it says here it's here. It says there it's not. Hang on. You're supposed to be able to share your screen. Hang on. Malfunction at the junction. Let's see if I kill that, and then I kill that, and we do it again. And will it load? Yeah, boy. All right. So hopefully you see some colors that pleases you emotionally, maybe even intellectually. That is true. That is true, Freddie boy. The 1987 crash, in which the Dow lost 25% in one day. And you may also recall it was the first day on the job as a stockbroker for what's his name on Wolf of Wall Street? Jordan, yeah. Jordan Belforte or whatever. Who cares? Yeah, Belford. Yeah. Who cares? Pink sheet nonsense. All right. So the guy scammed a bunch of people out of money. Who cares? It's just not even a story that is interesting. All right. I mean, the sad thing is, people look at me and they're like, they see I'm a currency trader. So they're like, I saw Wolf of Wall Street. I totally get everything you do. I'm like, no, that guy's a scumbag, steals a bunch of money from people by flipping penny stocks. Oh, well. I saw The Big Short too. I totally understand. You're a scumbag like all those people. No, wait, no. Most people are actually good people and do really valuable things. Oh no, so I mean, it's bad. So, but yeah, but it doesn't matter to them, right? So anyways, yeah, so we got stuff going on in the world. Thought we'd take a look at the calendar, as they say in Paris. Right? There's a calendar. Oh, wait, let's all have a cigarette. Okay, now we can go through the calendar. Zip, zip, zip. Life is great, life is grand, life is good. Hey, so I heard the Austrians kicked out the socialist pig dogs out of their government. Is that true? The youngest guy? Anyways, I don't know much about Austrian politics. All right, so let's move on.com. Any news out of the Bank of Canada is worth reading if you trade major currencies of the world. If you trade the dinar, don't worry about it. You got the whole the attack to worry about. Monthly budget statement. What is that? Never heard of it. Who has a budget? Since when does the United States have a budget? Everybody has good things to say about Canada, Ryan. Who doesn't like Canada? Everybody loves Canada. Hey, it's good. I mean, that's it. Enough said. Okay. Kiwi inflation, not going to happen. Fine. But the RBA meeting minutes? Yep. 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 And remember what I say, you should download and read these things simply to download and read them. Just be that kind of trader. Just read it. Just read it. No other reason. Just go through it, take some notes, highlight some things, look at, I don't know. Just be involved. That's it. Let's say it doesn't help you in the slightest. Just do it anyways. Don't worry about it. Okay? Be that type of trader that goes to the RBA website, finds the report, downloads it, reads it, and highlights things. Just consider it part of your job. And remember my advice to you last week, fall in love with the work. Just love it. And if you have to reward yourself, like I said over the weekend, often I like to sit outside with a cup of coffee and a cigar, and I do my work. And it's a reward. It's not like, oh my God, I got to do all this work. It's like, I'm out there. What am I doing? I'm a foreign exchange trader doing market research and gathering sentiment data. But I'm having a good time. So at the end of the day, it's like, what am I doing? I'm a currency trader having a good time. Doing work. So have some fun. Reward yourself. What would you do? How could you possibly reward yourself for going to the RBA website, finding the report, downloading it, printing it out, reading it word for word, the whole thing, and highlight some stuff, and then maybe summarize it just based on the things you highlighted. Things you understood, things you didn't understand, right? If you did that, let's say that takes you a whole hour. How could you reward yourself? Take your kid out for ice cream? You don't need the ice cream. You've had enough ice cream. But take your kid out. Take someone else's kid out. I don't know. Take an old person out. Some skin and bone old person. Take them out for ice cream. They'd love the fresh air. But do something rewarding. Okay? Because you spent a whole entire hour doing your job. But make it fun. Make it good. Because what we're trying to do is change your behavior. Listen to a Bryan Adams song. Maybe that's your reward. Right? You know he was a currency trader, don't you? I got my first MT4 charts from FXEM. They slipped me till my till my profits bled. Was the summer of '94. Anyways. Pound, 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 pound. Okay. Now, the big one is the CPI. Is it right, Devisa? He's great live. He's a live singer. Was it with a band or was it just the guy with the piano? Oh, okay. I've seen him where it was just Bryan Adams with a guitar and some other guy on a piano, and that was it. And they just sang all the songs. That was actually quite good. Oh, for sure. What was it, Rady? Yeah. So anyways, lots going on with pound. So maybe you start playing the pound today. I don't know if you want to front run. CPI, high inflation does what? What does high inflation do? What does high inflation lead the Bank of England to consider maybe doing in the near future? Yeah, maybe they raise rates. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's what the market thinks, and it's a scalp, so maybe it moves. So high inflation from a low, undervalued pound. See, high inflation from an undervalued pound may force or lead the Bank of England to maybe think about perhaps potentially raising interest rates. Whether they do or not is irrelevant. It's whether people think that they might. And we talked about it's not an absolute, right? It's a relative or comparative. You guys remember Friday's thing? It's a comparative differential, not an absolute. Euro stuff. Do we care about Europe? Well, what's going on in Europe? Just to remind ourselves. Things are certainly not worse. Things are actually improving there. Quantitative easing has worked, right? The German solution of like starving Europe through, their, what did they call it? What was it? Not austerity. There we go. They're like, yeah, we're going to get rich by saving money. Okay. That's like someone saying, I want to get rich by having a diversified portfolio. What does a diversified portfolio do? You have a financial money manager, and he says, well, we can make a lot of money. I will create a diversified portfolio for you. What it does is it protects you from the downside. It tries to remove risk, which means you'll never make any reward. Reward is a function of risk. So they're like, ooh, risk bad. So what we're going to do is make sure all your money is going to be here so that I can collect 2% of your assets year after year after year. I might flip you from one stock to another just simply to churn it and to earn some commissions, but you will definitely have very little risk. Right? You're like, average, couldn't I just buy the S&P 500 and not pay you any annual fees? Pay you no management fees whatsoever? Couldn't I just buy the S&P 500? No. So anyways, that's where the world is going. So yeah, so anyways, we found the model the history books will write down. Keynes, in this case, was right that governments have, through this recent crisis, spent money to create demand. And it happened. Oh yeah, Robert, that's a great one too, right? No, no. Oh, now it's all ETFs, Robert. Right? No, no. You got to pay me 2%. I got to get you in some ETFs, some sector ETFs. Have you heard the ads? Why pick one stock when you can have the whole sector? Like, why would I want all the losers? Why wouldn't I just pick all the winners in the sector? Like, they ask it. I hear it every morning on Bloomberg. Why choose a single stock when you can have the whole sector? Because that would be stupid. Why wouldn't I just do the work and say, okay, I'm interested in this sector. Why don't I analyze the companies in the sector, find out the winners and losers, and then find out which growth stock might be in there, buy the winners and buy the potential growth stock and dump all the losers? Why would I want everybody? And, you know, the commercial never ends by answering that question. But like, once again, just do the work. Love doing the work. Say, I'm going to pick the winners in this sector because I'm a winner, and winners get paid. And winners get, yeah. So anyways, do the work. Just love it. Love being in the industry. Love it. What do you do? Oh, I'm in finance. Really? What is it that you do? I'm a profit reaper. I got a whole bag of pips in the barn. I got loads. Whole barn full. So anyways, yeah, so Europe is doing better. And if they taper, and people think they're going to taper, that's Euro positive, even though they're still doing quantitative easing, even though they're not raising interest rates, even though the Fed's raising interest rates. Besides all of that, the Fed might be slowing the pace of their interest rate hike or normalization, and the Europe may start the taper. So comparatively, money might go to Europe. Absolutely, money should be in the United States, but absolutely, money's already in the United States. That's what's happened over the last 5 or 6 years. Maybe it's time for some of that money to go somewhere else, where valuations are lower, and they're starting a new cycle. We're coming out of the trough out of Europe. You see what I mean? Oh, Ryan, gee whiz, come on, bro. Are you shifting the curve? Fiscal spending shifts the aggregate demand curve. Sure, sure. Because it wouldn't be a shift on the curve because it has nothing to do with price. So it would move the curve to the right. Correcto mundo. Not along the curve, it would shift the entire curve. Cool. It's good stuff. Have you done micro and macro? I know you were doing some stuff. Cool. So you probably have done terms of trade, like kind of like what we were talking about on Friday, where let's say the United States makes way more laptops than most countries, or we could, let's say, have the capability because the manufacturing and the efficiency of the manufacturing in the United States is second to none, right? So if the United States wanted to produce laptops, it could, and it produces great cars too. So if it wanted to, and it does, it can produce a lot of cars of super high quality and all that kind of stuff. You know, the United States has an absolute advantage over almost everybody, but we don't buy a lot of we don't import a lot of Chinese cars into the United States. I don't think I've even seen one. But we import a lot of laptops, and we export a lot of cars to China. There's a lot of American cars in China. In Hong Kong, when Daniel and I are cruising around Hong Kong, what was it, Daniel? 1 out of 9 cars is a Tesla in Hong Kong? Like, no joke. You're like, what? Now, if you think about it, Tesla doesn't make that many cars. So 1 out of 9 cars in Hong Kong is a Tesla? That's a lot. That's a way lot, right? And yet I've never seen a Chinese car in the United States. So anyways, so you're like, well, what's going on there? Well, the United States could make its own laptops, and it can, and it does make its own cars. So it has an absolute advantage, but comparatively, there's a lower opportunity cost for China to make the laptops. So you could do all the calculations and base your terms of trade and like, okay, well, it's just better. We can make more cars, right? So instead of buying the laptops, or in this case, making the laptops yourself, we can just send a bunch of GM cars to China and say, all right, here's a bunch of GM cars. Here's a Cadillac Escalade. Give us some laptops. How many laptops will one Escalade get us? Oh, 400 laptops, great. Here's a Cadillac. And it's cheaper. It comes out better. And then if you really want to get onto it, the production possibilities frontier curve, that puts us out and to the right. Yeah, it's not barter per se. I guess, yeah, no, I'll go with that. It's all academic. It's an economic model that, I mean, if you think about it, the United States and China can't sit down and go over the million products it makes and say, well, we'll do this and you do that. It's an academic thing, but it's an interesting academic skill to be able to say, essentially barter. But there's some fuzzy logic math to it, right? What was that rate? Okay. So anyways, let's get back. Do we care about building permits and all that? Beige book, I mean, maybe read it. Maybe download it, have a cup of coffee and a cigar. Make it fun. What could you do to make it fun? Maybe you lock your children out of the house. You're like, sorry, kids, as soon as I'm done with this beige book, I will let you in. But Mom, it's raining. Shut your mouth, you spoiled little brat. Yeah. So, Jacob, okay, drop some acid and go beige book. Beige that all night long. Yeah. So anyways, cool. But make it fun, get involved. Okay. Well, all right, so Ryan gives a good overview of what to do, but how about this? Like, let's say you were like ridiculous on your job, ridiculous on the ball. You were like a hardcore US dollar greenback guru. Not only do you track economic data to figure out what the Fed might do, you pay attention to all the players on the FOMC, voting and non-voting, and the BOG, the Board of Governors. And you know all their personalities, like most people know the local football team. Oh, did you? That's Sanchez. I just don't like him. He's a hog. He don't pass, that Sanchez, right? And people like get all hyped up, and then they go to the bar and they want to talk about Sanchez on the team, and then they go talk to their neighbors, and then they just meet random people. Like I was in Washington D.C. and I'm at a cigar bar. Shocker. And and I'm smoking a cigar with a local boy there, and another guy comes back. He was from somewhere else, and boom, they're talking football. Oh yeah, he's a decent quarterback, and oh yeah, but there's wide receivers. These are just two people on the street, right, sitting at a cigar bar, and they're throwing it back and forth about these receivers and that second string quarterback on that team that's not even part of either town. I'm like, why don't you know the FOMC like that? Right? Oh, that Kaplan. Gee whiz. Right? Mister's a woman. Right? Mister's a woman. Lady Mister? Miss Mister? Mrs. Mister? But anyways, you should know these people and say they have these personalities, hawk, dove, moderate. What's going to, this moderate listens to that guy, so if this guy flips, that guy will flip. Like, you think we could, right? It's within our capacity. As normal, living, breathing human beings, we could know this stuff that well, like any dude in a bar could talk sports. And I've talked about it before. I want to walk into a bar, and they got TV screens everywhere. And it's all finance, and it's all money, and there's ticker tapes every exchange on the world, so I can track goat meat in Dubai. I'm like, look at goat skyrocket, right? Actually, I'd call it cash money bar. How about that, Robert? They're just like, poor people suck. How about that? Where are you going after work? Poor people suck. Oh, I love that place. Yeah, but we should know these things, right? Okay, so BOJ stuff won't move much. Dude, I've been so busy. The BOJ elections. It's amazing. And it hasn't come across my world being stuck in the United States. We don't know anything about anything outside the United States. So what happened? Wasn't there a BOJ election? Oh, it's this one coming up, not last one? It hasn't happened yet? Whew. Gee whiz. See, that kind of stuff I have to dig for. The only international news I got today is like the Catalonian election thingamabobber was done. So the king of Spain or whatever says, hey, send me a letter. Tell me what you want to do. Are you going to leave or what? Just tell me. Just tell us. Just tell us. We want to know. Are you going to leave or not? You want independence or not? Are you going to form a republic or not? Just tell us. Just tell us. Just yes or no. And a true socialist pig dog. I don't know if he's a socialist pig dog, but all of Spain's a socialist pig dog. So 4-page letter that has inconclusive, like, we don't really have a clear idea. You just want to give all the money to the poor people. I'm assuming that might be happening. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The independence in Catalonia has been going on forever, but yeah, but apparently it didn't say anything. So Spain's like, this is why Catalonia can't run its own country. Can't even answer a yes or no question. So that's a gross, embarrassing, I wouldn't even say oversimplified, probably misrepresented overview of what's happening. And Fresh would probably stab me in the heart with a dagger. But there you go. Don't tell FX Street. Yeah. So I don't know. The thing is, I think Catalonians are just like way richer than the rest of Spain, right? Well, Robert says at the end of the day, does it really even matter? And I was asked to do a few things for FX Street and stuff. And same thing with the French elections. Remember that? So I was asked to sit on a panel and stuff for the French election. I'm like, you know what? I just don't even really care. It's not going to move the market. Now, I think if you were in Spain, in Barcelona, it might be the most important thing that's ever happened since the Moors left. I don't know. The Basque are like, how about us? Why can't we go? But, I don't know. The French election, I can't take France seriously. I love Paris, don't get me wrong, but really? So, no, the Euro's got some problems, right? But what is Barcelona? So let's say Catalonia leaves. And you get this huge Spain with this little Catalonia. Great. They're going to have their own currency? No, they'll just use the euro. Right? Probably won't change anything. That'd be like saying, well, what? Monaco leaves. Yeah, nothing. No one would even notice. So, anyways. Capacity utilization data. These are interesting things because remember, we're looking at productivity. Why do we want to look at productivity? Because at some point, the only way to get more productive is to add more labor. That was a weird sound out there. And all that kind of stuff. And if you're already at full employment, then to get more labor in your factory, you got to steal more labor from someone else's factory. Therefore, you're going to have to pay higher wages or some other type of form of income. Maybe better benefits, maybe flex holiday. Maybe like in Spain, you can have 6 months. When your wife gets pregnant, you can have 6 months holiday. Europe's got it made, huh? Right? Isn't that true? If your wife has a baby in Europe, the husband could have like 6 months holiday. Yeah, so, oh, Peter says no. 2 months? All right, 2 months is amazing. Yeah, 2 months is amazing. I mean, 2 months. I know men have nipples, but it's not like they're sitting there nursing the baby for 2 months. Right? It's like 2 months? Why don't you earn some money, dude? And 3 years for the mom. Wow, no joke. 3 years. How about in that period just have another kid? Every 2 years have a kid, you would never have to work ever again. Well, look, you get a job and then you get time off. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, you guys are too much fun. Get serious now. So we're all the way to Wednesday. Notice like the calendar's packed, right? Like I'm scrolling. Page 3, Wednesday. Yeah. So we got the inflation report. That's your typical move. Okay. So more pound. That's fine. So we know that. So we know Tuesday's a mover and Wednesday's a mover. So you need to watch the pound. Let's go to again, the housing starts in beige book. So we did that. Chinese news, GDP, industrial production, retail sales. These are all huge. Aussie job report. So that's Wednesday night, right? Wow. That's a great Asian session. That's a great Asian session. You should be there. I got a thing going on by then. Hopefully, I'll be filling my hot tub with champagne. So, yeah. So I'm not going to be able to do that one. So I won't be able to trade that night. Too bad. But that's going to be a good one. Thursday, GDP, retail sales. Yeah, I guess so. Prices going up, right? Currencies going down. Expect a big number because remember, if 5% less people spend money because they feel like their money is becoming worthless, but prices went up 7% because the money is worthless and the people are right, it's going to come out good. Because even though 5% less people spent, 7% prices went up, so it'll be up too, even though less people bought stuff. So this retail sales they're calculated in currency terms, which never makes sense to me. I'd rather know, like, typically people buy, X amount of stuff, and this is X minus Y. It's less than last month. Regardless, but you can't do per unit, right? So it's really too bad. Philly Fed, weekly jobless claims, all good in the hood. European Council meeting, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what that is. Probably just more smoking wine, drinking more smoking wine and drinking cheese. Smoking cigarettes and drinking wine. Sounds like a ECB meeting to me. And then blah, blah, blah. CAD. So inflation in Canada, we'll find out. So, it'll be all right Friday. Like New York, it'll be great. We'll do some kitty cat on Friday. Don't let me forget. Isn't that the EU summit? I don't know what that is. Okay. Draghi speaking on Sunday. So, yeah, I guess that must be the summit. The summit? I don't know. Good, whatever. As long as we get some trades, right? Yeah, who knows? It's just a calendar, how they marked it down. So, look, I think it'll be all right. This is a good week, right? So just let's go back and review. Lots of pound tomorrow. Okay. Well, let's go back. Tonight in Asia, do the RBA meeting, right? The meeting minutes, review that. Then you can start trading pound today in sort of anticipation of tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good pound day. And then Wednesday, mostly U.S. stuff until the Asian session. Then you're going to have Aussie and China, which would affect Aussie anyway. So lots of Aussie on Wednesday, and then you flip over to Thursday back to the pound. So you could be trading pound Monday and Tuesday, and then probably Thursday, and then Friday back to CAD. You could do some CAD today, right? So anyways, there's some good stuff going on there. I think it'll be all right. There's nothing crazy on there. There's nothing crazy to be worried about, but it should move, right? Yeah, now I'm too close, right? All right. Yeah, I messed that up. Sorry. Gotta get it was hot. Gotta get it was good. Well, be. So when did we draw that? October 3rd. Looks like we were playing a double bottom. I guess it triple topped or triple bottom and then went up. That's pretty reasonable accuracy, isn't it? Then going into sort of the micro level here, you can see, whoa, up in here. Double top. So you have to make decisions. Is this a double top to you? There are two ways to trade a double top. Off the double top, which means you're already bear and you're hardcore, ready to go. And what's the second way of trading a double top? RR after what, Jacob? Right. So J Cub, Bear Cub, I'm going to take this low and that low and make that a whole zone. Just happens to be an hourly 21, just happens to be a weekly central. So plan B, or the second way of trading this, bum, 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 bum. La, 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 la. What do you think? What do you think? That's that. Now, if you want euro to go up, well then, what would you do? How about this cluster here? Maybe look for a bounce there. How does that make you feel? To me, it's very, 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 very straightforward. There's a clear bearish setup, there's a clear bullish setup, and I'm not sure what anything else is. Fool's gold, maybe. Fool's gold. Saw a lot of real gold lately, and you know what I saw? The Hope Diamond. It was pretty. Okay. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Well, it smells like a double top to me. I'm going to do it in blue just for fun. That's what it smells like to me. This is a bullish buy, right? This is a bullish weekly swing, and their target's the red zone. So why not? They want to play today, huh? Yeah, Ryan? Very good. You're on a path to brilliance. That's how it's done. It's kind of like doing a webinar every day for 15 years. Never a vacation. Isn't that interesting? In 15 years, however it's been close to 15 years. Never taken a vacation. Well, I've taken vacations, but still did my work. I haven't taken too many vacations, but still do my work. Yeah, thank you, Ryan. That's what you need to do to win. Do what other people are unwilling or incapable of doing. We talked about, was it Friday where I talked about, that, excellence is inconvenient? I got a 90. I screwed up, but there might have been a BS question on there, and there was some discussion of maybe the professor giving a credit on that, and it would pop me back up. But I was devastated that I only got a 90. It's going to drag my grade down. So I'm hoping this extra credit kicks in. Ugh. So I spent 10 hours. My other class, I got a 95. They liked my paper. It's a research thing. They liked it, so I got the green light on that. So anyways, thank you for asking. All right. Seems like the same. Nothing's changed here, has it? So we'll zoom in. So maybe just in case you don't remember what we talked about, let's just do it again. Last week we thought that in this area here it might stop going up. That we might have a scenario of, let's say, this. Maybe. Right? Maybe. We don't know. But that's one possibility. Now, if news comes out and it really seems like the Bank of England's going to jack up interest rates, then all bets are off because it's a fundamental move, not a technical. But this is a technical move. And a bearish technician would be destroying this, devastating this, firework effect, dropping the bomb on this one. If you're a bear, there's nothing better than that. A M3 with an MCPP on top of you? Really? No, I'm going to hold out for something better. What would that be? Right? Like there isn't. Right? So if you're a bear and you're a swing trader, you sold that already. And you're done for the week. Price will either spike because of the news coming up tomorrow. I'm trying to grab this. Oh, I can't because of this. So, no, still, there we go. So your stop's up here, let's say. So you either lose this money that you have at risk because tomorrow news comes out and the world thinks the Bank of England's going to jack up interest rates, whatever. That's a fundamental play. But if you're a technical swing trader, you're selling there, your stop's up here, and you're done for the entire week. You will either lose money or you will make money. And does it seem reasonable that if you did sell here, that you could expect that? Is that a reasonable expectation? Or does that seem like gambling? This downward move, is that reasonable considering the setup? Well, it's also probably a monthly swing. And that 50% predicts a 1382, which is actually the monthly M1 anyways. So it's like, seems perfect. We don't know if that's going to happen because that's only technical analysis, right? It's only technical analysis. Fundamentals can change that like that. God. And you're like, oh, but my perfect. Yeah, nobody cares about that. Okay? So that's that. So maybe you play it, maybe you don't. Marina says, wait for it, the lower low, essentially, right? So you're bringing it all the way down here. So you're going to throw away this week and sell it next week. That's cool. That's fine, because then it'd be fundamental. But, you know, you're at a 50% retracement on a monthly M, on a monthly central, right? On a weekly M3. It's all right to be cautious. And this week there's a lot of news. Couldn't you also like maybe cut your lot size in half and help it out, Marina? Help push it down a bit, maybe with half the risk. How about scalp it this week, right? So you do a bunch of spot, you know, 25 OCOs or 50 OCOs this week, and then next week set up the swing. Just, you know, just a thought. It's pretty heavy on a 4-hour. That's right, Dad. Yeah. So to review, it seems to me, I don't remember any of this. The weekend was so long. But I could see that I said this might be an interesting area to buy. Oops. And this might be an interesting area to buy based on something else that's happening to the left. And they're 382 and 50%. So what do you think of the setup? Higher high. Crazy Wayne says maybe something like that. So I already set that up. Now what? Well, the same after any higher high if you're a bull. So look at the old resistance, bring it across, and maybe it becomes support. Right? Just straight forward standard price action. We could try to complicate it a little bit, back out if you want. You guys know my target? Here and here. So it's a 618 of this move, which is 1382, which is 92. Okay, so we came down to the 618, quadruple bottom, higher high, higher low, but we're also on a monthly pivot, which predicts essentially the same thing. So there's still 400 pips left on this move. Maybe. But this goes back to early 2 weeks ago, I think. 2 weeks ago it was in here. So it's the same trade as 2 weeks ago. Anthony's like, oh, well, what about the 4-hour chart monthly pivot? First of all, I said 6 months ago that Aussie yen would go up in the month of October. So I have very little respect for monthly pivots acting as resistance because I'm a bull. It bounced at this pivot, the only pivot. It bounced at the only pivot that I would want it to as a bull for support. So I got what I wanted. I got the confirmation. Kool-Aid, I drank that 2 weeks ago. Right? You see the horses, no, it's up 100 pips, but it's gone, man. Kool-Aid's gone. Aussie yen's going up and up and up and up and up, unless it doesn't. And then I get knocked out and I cry. You understand? So I made a decision. That's all. So I could be wrong, and this whole thing could collapse, and it'd be very unfortunate, and I would be seriously bummed out. I would be really, really bummed out. But right now, this is going up another 400 pips. But I think I told you a week ago that this was going to go up 500 pips. I'm pretty sure I said 500 pips. I think I said something like, oh, but it's only 500 pips. I mean, maybe there's something else or something. Maybe there's something better, right? But yeah, I mean, so, oh, wow. There's so many geese flying in from Canada. It sounds like a freeway traffic jam. out my window. It's the geese coming. So anyways, maybe it's going to go up. But, I said that last week, and I drew it out, and like, all right, it'll go up, and you got to get a bounce here or here, and this is where you buy it, and on the roll reversal, blah, 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 right? So we talked about it here, and we talked about it here. Now we're talking about it here. Sweet. Sweet. From the 12th? Yeah, that'd be about right. Cool. But remember, the target isn't actually 92. What's the target? Well, there's something more specific than December. There's a conservative target and there's an aggressive target. Thanksgiving is the first one. The second one, ideally, is the first day of January. Yearly M4. Where is that, Zindon? What price does that happen to be? I don't even have yearly pivots. 93.77. How interesting. I've never even seen a yearly pivot. I've never even installed an indicator that has yearly pivots, so that's interesting. Maybe I should play around with it, huh? Always got things I can learn. There's always opportunities to improve. So notice how this is a fib of the other. Right? This has been going on since May, guys. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. This move has been going on since May. So I have British pound coming down. I don't know why. It's kind of funny, huh? Gee whiz, huh? Good thing I said down. Otherwise, it'd feel really, really bad. But I feel really, really good. Oh, people kicking down the door. Good call on that one. Oh, sweet. Boom. Yeah. Cool. Guess my job's done here, huh? Got to wash my hands for supper. New York manufacturing. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. The New York manufacturing sector data. Yeah. So anyways, hey, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Will you be here tomorrow? Cool. I'll be here. I hope to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being on my team. My apologies to all the inaccuracies in regards to the Catalonian situation. Cool. See you guys tomorrow. Cheers.